One of my favorite jokes from Schitt's Creek was when Moira's like, I was doing some extensive Ask Jeevesing.
That's a similar joke to one of my favorite from Community, where the Chevy Chase character, who's older, says it's called friendship. Encarta it.
Yeah. Encarta it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I saw something. It was like, remember Encarta, the CD disc, like the 1997 one? That thing was lit. Tell you what.
Yeah. It was a triple, at least a double disc.
I bet it was.
Hey.
Well.
Welcome to Namely 90s. Wow. The podcast that takes you back to the time before smartphones, Google, and Y2K. Join your hosts as they relive the pop culture that shaped a generation and the parts that many people wish they could forget. Listen in to the conversation about how the decade defined those who spent their childhood there and how it shaped them as adults. So, turn down the grunge and dial up the internet. Let's get started. It's time for Namely 90s.
That's right. You're listening to Namely 90s. My name's Andrew, and over there is Brandon.
That's me.
You can find us online at namely90s.com or on Instagram and Bluesky at namely90s. You can also find us on YouTube every Monday at youtube.com/namely90s. Sorry, YouTube. Thank you. At namely90s. And if you'd like to support our trip to Vegas for the final show, which probably won't actually happen, go over to patreon.com/namely90s, which is now reactivated after last week, and get signed up for one of our support levels, the Vegas one. It's a yes. As I alluded to, the show will be ending at the end of May, and we thank you very much for your listenership.
Yes, we do appreciate your listenership.
You're quiet.
Am I? It does look like my mic has dropped a little bit.
Boom, mic drop volume.
Mic drop
I also turned up the volume on my computer. So
that helps. Sometimes
I was like,
helps.
My voice is the normal volume.
Let's just quick membership status check on Patreon. We have 0. All right.
Great body of work, folks.
Well done.
Let's see. What everyone gave all their money to that really successful Kamala Harris and Tim Walz presidential campaign.
Did I send you a meme where it was like, no one could have predicted this, and then the woman who said all of this, and it's just a picture of Kamala, like, like, of course.
Of course it is, indeed. All right, well, what's new this week? How are our civil liberties being eroded this week? Is the name of my new podcast.
They use taxpayer money to do a Tesla commercial in front of the White House and to stop.
Which someone said, like, why does everything look like it's a sketch? Like everything that's happening in and around the White House feels like a sketch.
Mm-hmm. And then they're trying to use the Department of Justice to prevent people from protesting in front of Tesla dealerships, and as well as trying to fix Tesla stock since it's tanked for 7 days straight.
The Department of Justice, aka Doge 1.0. DOJ, Doge.
Nice. Speaking of Doge, they just started getting their claws into the NSA, so that's not terrifying. Someone
did say, like, last person out the door at the Department of Education, go ahead and erase the student loan database, be a legend. Like,
that would be,
anyway.
And then flee the country.
Yeah, this is part of him literally becoming a super villain. Mm-hmm. He's taking control of the government. He's building a secret space layer that he'll blow up on the way to. Yeah, it's real scary.
Yeah. It's here we are. This is what we've done with ourselves.
In entertainment news, Liam Neeson apparently announced his retirement at 72.
But what if one of his family members gets taken?
I know, like someone takes his Jello at the nursing home, and he's like, "I will
At
find
72.
you, and I will kill you." Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's good to retire when you get to a certain age. Like the role he plays is not very believable at that age.
I mean, it wasn't believable for the last 20 years, but he still pulled it off.
It was unlikely that he even became that type of actor in the first place.
He was Qui-Gon Jinn, man.
He was Qui-Gon Jinn?
Qui-Gon Jinn from the Star Wars.
He was also played Oscar Schindler in Schindler's List.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
He's also the target of many a Family Guy joke, which is always great. It's like, this is as unconvincing as Liam Neeson trying to play a cowboy. He's like, we got to get these cattle at least 30, 40 meters. That was more of Kermit the Frog meets.
I can't even get a word in edgewise here.
But yeah, Liam Neeson, love his movies. Always the same character, still fun.
Yes. So speaking of people with unconvincing American accents, Daredevil Born Again. I've watched the first 3 episodes. They launched I made you watch the trailer, I think 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now, 4 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
Do you remember you said you would probably watch the new one if you
I know. I'm not actually going to, but I would. It's the one where Vincent D'Onofrio is doing like a weird voice.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I thought you meant Charlie Cox's voice. No, he has this weird Kingpin voice that's like really gravelly.
Speaking of people with bad American accents, Jesse Spencer. Moving on. He played Dr. Robert Chase in House, but then he tried to play an American in Chicago Fire, and it was the worst ever.
Was he not the one that like faked a hate crime against himself?
No, that was a black man.
Is Jesse Spencer not a black man?
Jesse Spencer is a white Australian actor.
Gotcha.
But in House, he has his Australian accent. Mm-hmm. And in Chicago Fire, he has the supposed American accent. But when you hold it up to Hugh Laurie's American accent, you're like, this is just trash. Also, when you've seen someone do an Australian accent for years, it's hard to see it otherwise.
But like Hugh Laurie's American accent on Friends was also terrible.
Yeah, but he wasn't like he really perfected his craft when he took over at that old house area over there.
True. Have you ever watched his British comedy show?
I've meant to, but I haven't gotten around to it.
I feel like it's
as far as I know, it's Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie putting on women's clothing. Because I feel like that's always funny for the Brits.
Yep. Daredevil Born Again has blown me away. Like the first 15 minutes, I was like I gasped.
You could say it's a sight to behold.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, each episode so far has left me just like gutted. So, it's an adult MCU show. I recommend it if you're needing some more violence.
Does that mean they say the F word a lot because they're past the watershed, which is now just streaming?
I don't think they use the F word that much. They definitely, it's more like there's violence, unlike what you would see in like PG or PG-13 MCU movies.
Yeah. One of my kids is watching Godzilla
Deadpool
versus Kong today, and we're like, this is not, it's PG-13. Are you 13 yet? No. Yeah.
But like, what do we watch
again later? No, I know that, but like, I don't know. I got in trouble because he was watching it, but I was just like mowing the grass. That's a thing. That's a weird thing. Mowing the grass in March. Crazy.
Because of April. Nope.
And that is a euphemism in case you were wondering.
Oh yeah. I guess I need to mow the grass as well. Anyway, while we talk about the MCU, things owned by Disney, there's some controversy coming up this week with the new Snow White releasing. They made a live action Snow White. Have you heard about this, Andrew?
No, let me guess. They cast a non-white person, and the Republicans are mad about it.
That is one of the things, yes. The most recent iteration of Jets and the Sharks. West Side Story, that live action movie. The girl from that, Rachel Zegler, was cast as Snow White. And then, can you guess who was cast as the Wicked Witch or Evil Witch or Maleficent? Which one is in Snow White?
Are we talking about the other one now? I'm confused.
Evil Queen.
It just came out. Oh gosh. Rent? No, what just came out that everyone's all over?
Wicked.
Wicked. Thank you. Dear God, I could not come up with that. I don't know. Is it Kathy Bates?
No. Let's just say Rachel Zegler spoke out as pro-Palestine. So, and her cast member speaks out as pro-Israeli. Which I think it's funny,
like you say, can we not blow up the children's hospitals? And now you're pro-Palestinian.
Yeah,
you know.
I wonder which woman is
Roseanne Barr,
Evil Queen. Wonder which woman.
Oh, the girl who plays Ziva David on NCIS, Cote de Pablo. No, or Cote de Pablo, whatever her name is. Gal Gadot.
Yes, Gal Gadot. And that you took the joke.
Yes, I did.
Yes. And then,
ooh, tension.
Well, okay, so here's all the controversies. Starting with, like you said, casting of Snow White.
It's a DEI hire, according to the Republicans, I'm sure, right?
Right. The casting was open to all ethnic groups, but Ziegler is Latina. Then the reimagining of the Seven Dwarves is another thing, because, well, in January 2022, actor Peter Dinklage, who has a form of dwarfism and played dwarvish characters throughout his roles, said that the upcoming Snow White remake is backward because it's, seven dwarves. So Disney, trying to avoid reinforcing stereotypes from the original animated film, were taking different approaches with these seven characters that have been consulting with members of the dwarfism community.
I already don't like it. I don't know what it is. I already hate it.
Following that, he also got backlash from actors like Wee Man and wrestler and actor Dylan Postel, who also have dwarfism, I believe, for not casting dwarf actors because it's actually a role for them, and they took it away to make a bunch of CGI characters now.
Is it miniature Hugh Grants?
Is that a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory reference?
It is the Timothée Chalamet varietal.
Oh, I was thinking of why was I thinking of the Johnny Depp varietal? Yes, that's correct. That was that one. So you can't win with either side. But the CGI ones look like the offensive original stereotypes, so no one's won. And it also is Uncanny Valley. Looks terrible. You should see the trailer.
I just still can't get over this argument from the conservatives where they're like, this is so unrealistic because the story's about a white person for them to cast a non-white person. And you're like, the story is made up. It's based on a fairy tale. Well, mermaids don't exist.
Factually, he was a Danish man, so mermaids should have been white because he was white. Continuing with Ziegler's drawing of ire from the right would be her criticism of the original 1937 film, where she said, quote, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. So we didn't want to do that this time. We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story just because we cast a guy in the movie, Andrew Burnap, great dude. But it's really not about her love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. So they were like, this is Snow White's feminist, Snow White's PC, man hater, girl boss, whatever. And now, the most recent thing, Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler, the premieres of this movie have been reduced to like no media interviews, just photo ops, because of the two main actresses siding against each other over freeing Palestine, or the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
Apparently, by the way, there's no evidence that Walt Disney was actually an anti-Semite, which is like something I've said before, but that he did openly and enthusiastically hire them to work in his. So, anyway, I do feel like the Disney Corporation, which is now owns ESPN, is sort of overcorrecting there a little bit, which is probably okay.
Did you say the ESPN zone as in the restaurant?
No, they own ESPN. They own ESPN, Disney.
Yes. Therefore, they own the restaurant ESPN zone.
True.
Anyway, and then final thing, there was a boycott call made by MAGA supporters after Ziegler posted "fuck Donald Trump" and criticized those who voted to re-elect him. But she later issued a public apology, saying that she meant no harm with her message, while saying, what a
pushover.
I let my emotions get the best of me. Hatred and anger have caused us to move further and further away from peace and understanding.
No. That's this apologetic, like Democrat, liberal crap where we're like,
and I'm sorry,
afraid of offending anybody.
Discourse. Yeah.
Like, it's okay to say that. He's a monster.
It was during the election. It wasn't even right now.
Like, we have to stop being a bunch of sissies. I don't mean sissy in a pejorative way, like toward women. I just mean we need to stand up a little bit and not just roll over and be like, I said a naughty word about Donald Trump. Sorry. Blah, 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 blah. Never gonna win.
Yeah. So,
but I'm still highly entertained by the fact, by the way, that no one hates Donald Trump more than JD Vance. But that almost makes my opinion of him less, because now he is just a total apologist.
I mean, I just saw a clip of Marco Rubio in the lead up to the 2016 election saying, like, Donald Trump is a self-serving dictator or wannabe dictator, and if he gets elected, he will destroy U.S. democracy. And now he's on his cabinet.
Let's play that video back.
Yes.
And then you would play the video back and he'd be like, I never said that. It's a deep fake. Just like all that revenge porn. Why are we literally, I've never heard the words revenge porn more than I've heard them in the last 2 weeks.
No, didn't they pass some law? Oh, because
exactly. But like admirable, bipartisan. Why is that the thing that we're focusing on right now? Like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem.
You're pronouncing it wrong. It's AI.
It's just not. Okay. Well, I'm not a woman, so I can't say, but I'm just saying, like, we're just gutting social programs and we're passing other laws to do. Who's enforcing it? The people you just fired from the federal guy? It just makes no sense. I'm sorry. Anyway.
Speaking of revenge porn, we're going to be talking about the Disney Renaissance today.
Great segue.
Thank you. Which was a period from 1989 to 1999, during which Walt Disney Feature Animation returned to producing commercially and or critically successful animated films. The 10 featured films associated with this period are The Little Mermaid, The Rescuers Down Under, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, The Lion King, Pocahontas, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Hercules, Mulan, and Tarzan. Those at 10. And Tarzan.
That's pronounced Tarzan.
Tarzan. The films were mostly musical adaptations of well-known stories, similar to films produced by Walt Disney from 1930s to 1960s. And it was a resurgence which allowed the animated films to become the powerhouse with successes at the domestic and foreign box office, earning much greater profits.
The Renaissance.
Wow, I didn't realize there was such a giant gap between The Rescuers, which was 1977, and
Oh yeah, that is a
Rescuers Down
large.
Under, 1990. Huh. So there's Secret of Nim, Fox and the Hound. Yeah. Anyway, we don't need to go over anything too great, but apparently it was prompted by competition with Don Bluth's animated studio, who Don Bluth was where'd it go? Don Bluth was a longtime animator at Disney Animation, and started his own rival studio, which
we've never heard of, which means it obviously didn't work.
Well, it produced The Secret of Nim, which I just said, from 1982, and it caused some. Let's see, they did the animation sequence in the musical Xanadu, video games like Dragon's Lair and Space Ace, and An American Tale.
It's a wildly successful company.
Well, okay. Steven Spielberg's Amblin Entertainment animated feature, An American Tale, The Land Before Time. That was a successful series. I never watched it. Titan AE, it looks like. Fox Animations. Anastasia. Anyway, they were competition. Miyazaki's works were also a competition, which kind of forced Disney to be like, hey, we need to make good stuff again, after the failure of The Black Cauldron. So yeah.
Wow, they had been developing The Little Mermaid since the 1930s. They've been developing the North-South Freeway in Spokane for that long.
Studio Ghibli would be Hayao Miyazaki.
Hayao.
So yes, The Little Mermaid started it off. I think we've talked about The Little Mermaid before. We've also mentioned how people are angry that she's black now or something.
Let's see, Shaggy played the lobster in the live action musical that was on TV.
That is true. That is a thing that happened.
I guess you could say they caught him red-handed.
It wasn't me.
Because he played a lobster. Red-handed. Clawed, if you will.
The lyricist and composer from Little Shop of Horrors became involved in the production. They wrote and composed the songs and the score for the film, which... Have you ever seen? I think
we talked about this last week, and no, I have not.
Yes, we last week with you, me, and Kayla, not on the podcast.
Right.
But yes, they won 2 Academy Awards for Best Original Song, Under the Sea, and for Best Original Score, and they also got a nomination for Kiss the Girl. I don't think I could make that accent anymore. It was a significant turn by the studio back towards the darker and scarier villains, typical of the films it had produced before Walt Disney's death. Anyway, 1990 was Rescuers Down Under. Do you remember Rescuers Down Under?
Oh boy,
bunch of mice.
A little bit. Must have been Australia.
Yeah,
Australia.
So I always got confused with Fievel Goes West, Rescuers, and Rescuers Down Under because they were all animated mice. And this is one of those, but it wasn't as financially successful as The Little Mermaid. But 91, we got Beauty and the Beast, which was we've talked about before. I think we've done a game on like the bad sequels to the good movies from the 90s.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
It won Best Score, Best Original Song for Beauty and the Beast, and got a Broadway adaptation eventually in 94. Speaking of Broadway adaptations, 1992 we got Aladdin. 1994 we got The Lion King.
Oh, what a string of movies, man!
Right?
Like I don't think there was ever a 10-year period that any studio did that well. Like that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. This is like Adam Sandler's like Golden Run, or someone else had like the Jim Carrey Golden Run from the 90s. Like, you know how they talk about that? It's like he had The Mask and Ace Ventura come out in the same year or something. he had three hits in the same year. And then he was just like on fire for the rest of the 90s. Apparently Elton John and Hans Zimmer wrote for The Lion King after ABBA turned down the opportunity to write the songs.
I didn't know that about ABBA, but I did know that about Elton John because he performs.
Yeah. And that was your first tape?
I had that tape. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But it wasn't the Lion King tape. Tonight? It was the Elton John tape.
With Can You Feel Love Tonight on it?
I believe it was on that. Let me find the picture. I think we talked about this before.
We definitely have, or else I wouldn't have known this tidbit. Can you feel the love tonight?
I'm going to find this.
Da-da-da.
I see it, but I can't see the name.
Not included in the Renaissance was the Nightmare Before Christmas, which was stop motion animated with former Disney animator Tim Burton. Elton John did the Lion King songs. Hans Zimmer did
the CD I had was Elton John Love Songs, the tape. Why did my parents give me that? Our son really likes love songs.
Yes, Elton John too.
And I had Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me with George Michael. That was a banger right there. Did you ever hear that one live?
No, I've heard the song before, I think, but I don't.
Don't let the sun. Okay, I'm sorry. George Michael. Yep. Anyway.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, I feel like I should refrain from making bad jokes about that.
I would.
Okay. The next animated film, Pocahontas, 1995.
That movie holds up today.
Best original musical or comedy score and best original song with Colors of the Wind, sung by the actress. I thought it was what did I think?
There was a radio version.
Yes.
I typed in Colors of the Womb by accident. Oh God.
Was it Cher or was it? I thought.
No, it was by
Vanessa Williams. Vanessa Williams version.
Why is that a picture of that person? Yeah, Vanessa Williams. Is that who it was? Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Anyway.
Following year, we got Hunchback of Notre Dame in 1996. First animated film with a budget of over $100 million. Better reviews than Pocahontas, but lower total box office. I'm pretty sure I saw that in theaters. Hercules in 1997, which made less than The Hunchback of Notre Dame at the box office, and then people started to say it's a downward trend, even though they both got positive critical reviews. But they were vulnerable to competitions from DreamWorks Animation and Pixar. And then we got the penultimate Renaissance film. It was Mulan in 1998, which featured 98 Degrees for their closing song. The band, the Nick Lachey. Anyway, and then 1999 we got Tarzan with the last of the Renaissance era with songs by Andrew's favorite
Phil Collins. Yep. I saw something. It was like they asked Phil Collins to do a song for Tarzan, and like he went way too hard with that song. Like he really didn't have to go that hard. It was
You'll
so
Be in
good.
My Heart. I feel like there was another song for Tarzan too. Like
there is, but like that's the one.
Because I have that soundtrack.
Like you just write like a little song for like a little kids movie, but no, we're going for it.
Yeah. Well, same with Elton John.
Miss a key change, and
true
music and saxophone solos. Not nearly enough saxophone solos.
Here it is. There is Strangers Like Me, You'll Be in My Heart, Two Worlds, Strangers Like Me, and Son of Man, I guess. Oh yeah, Rosie O'Donnell was in that.
The now Irish Rosie O'Donnell.
She played the monkey. Nope, the great ape.
Okay, well I'm gonna leave that alone.
Minnie Driver was okay. Turk. She was Turk. Anyway. Yeah. So did you have a
Pocahontas has the lowest reception of Disney's Renaissance films.
58% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm surprised by that. I thought that was like a pretty well regarded movie, even if problematic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it even has an A- of the cinema scores.
Wow.
Metacritic.
All right.
I wonder if that's over time though. Like,
yeah, I don't know. And which one did the best? The Little Mermaid. No, actually, Aladdin seems to have the best rating.
Not Lion King.
But then for reviews, the Lion King's 93, 8.5. So it looks like Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin performed the best. Also, someone did a song called Beauty and the Beat, and I don't know who that was. That was by Justin Bieber, Beauty and a Beat, with rapper Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj. So, nope. Didn't say it. Didn't go there. Problematic. I think it kind of whitewashes that story. It allows people to use the spelling INJUNS in the Wikipedia plot.
The Lion King.
Mel Gibson was John Smith.
The Lion King almost grossed $1 billion worldwide. And in total, all the movies grossed almost $3.9 billion. Wow, that was quite the move there for him.
That's impressive. Most impressive.
The Lion King was the 34th all-time domestic ranking. That's wild, bro. Talk about a return on investment for $45 million. Almost $1 billion profit.
Dang. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Well, did you have a favorite of the Renaissance
era?
I
think it's the Lion King for me. I mean, that's the one that I probably saw the most.
Yeah.
I thought Hercules was fun. I thought Mulan was, I like Ming-Na Wen, so that was good.
I do like a Ming-Na Wen.
Aladdin I never really got into. Who was in that? Robin Williams and
Robin Williams.
Sinbad. Right?
No, that would be Shazam or Kazam.
No, it was
Shaq.
Oh boy, now I'm really screwing myself up. It was Robin Williams and Gilbert Gottfried, and everyone else I don't know.
Oh yeah, Gilbert Gottfried was Iago. Forgot about that.
For some reason, I thought, why did I think that what's his face? Sinbad was in this.
Well, because Sinbad, people think that Sinbad played a genie called Shazam.
But that's not true.
No, Shaq played a genie called Kazam. Shazam, Sinbad, and then Sinbad was in a movie. Where is it? Yeah, many people remember a movie called Shazam starring Sinbad as a genie, granting wishes to children.
Why can't I get Sinbad out of my head at this point in time?
Well, eventually they did make a joke trailer for Shazam, but that was a few years ago. And then
I don't know.
Yeah, most people confused it with Kazam starring Shaq. Yeah. But
all right.
Is it a Mandela effect? Who knows?
Well,
yeah.
Well, anyway, that was the Disney Renaissance for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I forgot that Pixar wasn't a part of Disney at the time.
Right. True.
Yeah. And then eventually was, and then wasn't again. Anyway.
All right. Well, there you go. Mid-episode break.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And now back to the break. What?
Okay, so we have 3 BuzzFeed quizzes to choose from today. The first 2 are like 90s Disney movie trivia. The first one is like name the movie, fill it in. The second one, which I thought would be too easy based off the fact that we just went through all
Too
10,
easy. Yeah.
10 of them. 90s Disney trivia quiz, which is just about the 90s Renaissance Disney. But it also includes other 90s Disney movies that we didn't talk about.
Okay.
And then the last one is pick a bunch of songs and make a playlist, and they'll tell you, and they can guess which 90s Disney movie is either meant for you or is your favorite.
I would say just trivia.
Okay, so that's the second one, which you can find in our description. The first one is, what is the name of the easel? Oh, yeah. This is because it was the best era. Let's see how well you remember 90s Disney. Where are my millennials at? This is updated on July 30th, 2024 by Liz Zotep, a community contributor, but approved and edited by the Buzzfeed team. So, what is the name of the evil warlock in Halloween Town? A Disney Channel original movie, ? Is it Calabar, Merlin, Eliphas, or Alatar?
No idea. I never saw it.
I didn't see it either, but I believe it's Calabar.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
In the movie Hercules, or Hercules, as I like to call it, what is the name of Hercules' horse? Is it Palagachi, Pharaoh with a PH, but no H at the end,
Williams?
or H at the end, Pegasus, or Polly?
I believe that's a Pegasus.
I want to say it was Pegasus. And that's correct. It's not a name, it's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
What is Belle's gift request in Beauty and the Beast? A book, a blanket, a pet, or a rose? Well, she was a bookworm.
It's a pet. No, just kidding. I'm going to guess it was a book or a rose.
So the rose was the thing that, like, was his life force, or a depiction of his life force. I would assume if she wanted a gift, she would want a book.
Okay. Let's go with it. Wow, she looks like such a trad wife. It's a rose.
Oh, sorry. You were right.
I mean, that's what most trad husbands end up looking like. What is the name of a princess who is taking over the crown in A Bug's Life? Is it Princess Poppy, Princess Atta, Princess Blueberry, or Princess Alicia?
I don't know why, but Atta sticks out to me.
It's Poppy, I think.
Is it Poppy? Okay, I haven't watched this.
Nope, I'm wrong. Oh my God. What?
Children.
Poppy's another character in the movie.
It was
That's
Atta.
what it is.
Was
Son of a...
Okay. What kind of animal killed Tarzan's parents? Was it a leopard, a gorilla, a lion, or a wolf?
I want to say a wolf.
I think it was a lion. Or
Okay.
sorry, not a lion, a leopard.
Leopard.
It was a
as I like to
leopard.
pronounce it. Okay, we can go with that.
Okay.
Correct. I watched very few of these, apparently.
I remember that from Kingdom Hearts.
All right. What type of bug tried to attack the parents in Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves? Was it a bee, an ant, a cockroach, or a spider?
Well, so Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, they have an ant.
I want to say a cockroach
Yeah, 'cause it looks like they're inside.
or a spider, to be fair.
I think the bees were in the first movie.
So do we want to go cockroach or spider?
Let's go cockroach.
Hey,
Nice.
correcto mundo. Sorry.
In the 13th year, what does the main character turn into? A werewolf, a vampire, a warlock, or a merman?
My favorite joke, a werewolf, a wenwolf, a howlwolf,
And
a
a werewolf.
wolf, and a
Howlwolf.
what wolf? I want to say werewolf.
I think it's a merman.
Okay, let's go with Brandon's guess because he's been right so far, and he's correct.
Ooh, I was wrong about one thing. In Aladdin, no.
In Aladdin, what was the name of Princess Jasmine's father? Was it the Treasurer, the Sultan, the Fespender, or the Lathab?
Well, he is the Sultan.
I think he was the Sultan.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice. In The Nightmare Before Christmas, how did Jack Skellington die? Was it a car accident? Was he burned alive, an axe murderer, or a freak accident? As I've said many times, this one still gives me nightmares.
I thought it was a car accident.
Okay.
Nope, burned alive. Nice
Even
for the
worse.
kids.
Is that why he doesn't have skin?
Yeah. In Hocus Pocus, what brings back the Sanderson sisters?
Ooh.
A virgin lighting the black flame candle, someone digging up their corpses out of hallowed ground, a virgin chanting a special spell, or a book gets opened and the spell is broken. I know a virgin's involved.
Yes, because they were very obsessed with that. When one lights the candle to set them free at one point.
I think he chants the spell.
He does read the spell, but they also open the book and the spell is spoken.
Well, I already chose something and got it wrong, so.
Okay, so you chose the virgin chanting a spell?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it the black flame candle? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
We watched this movie.
Yeah.
In the last 5 years. In The Lion King, who kills Simba's father, King James Earl Jones? Is it Zira, Nala, Shenzi, or Scar?
I think this one's Scar, pretty obviously.
Yes. It wasn't Whoopi Goldberg.
All right. What team won the skating competition at the end of Brink? Was it Pup and Suds, Blaze, T-Hawks, or Brink?
Did you end up watching this one?
I think I watched some of it, but is it like they don't win in the end, but that's okay kind of thing?
No, they win in the end.
Oh, it's Pup and Suds.
Yep.
Okay.
Nice. Who are Pocahontas' two animal friends pictured here? Is it Miko and Percy, Percy and Martino, Miko and Flit, or Percy and Flit?
Is it Percy and Flit?
No, I know the raccoon is Miko.
Miko and Flit.
Flit? Oh, Flit.
A
that
bird
makes sense
seems
because
like Flit.
It's a
yes.
hummingbird. Nice.
Percy. How many Xenon movies are there? Too many. 1, 2, 3, or 5?
Okay, so there's Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century.
Is that Raven Simone and somebody else?
That is, and Kristen, not Bell, Kristen Alley? No. So there's Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century, Xenon the Zequel, and Z3, a Xenon movie. There's 3.
There's 3.
I am somehow proud to know that. How many pets starred in Homeward Bound? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
3.
Nice. How long is this?
In The Parent Trap, where do the twin sisters reunite for the first time? At summer camp, at school, at a public pool, on the bus on the way to summer camp, or rehab. So sorry. So sorry.
I'm pretty sure it was at the summer camp.
All right.
I did a Namely 90s minute on this.
That's correct.
How many sisters does Ariel have? 6, 7, 8, or 9?
I don't know.
What? 7 sirens. So let's go 7.
Nope, 6. In Mulan, when retrieving the arrow from the high post, what did the 2 heavy medallions represent? Strength and resilience? Resilience and honor? Honor and discipline? Or discipline and strength? These are all buzzwords in that community. Discipline and strength.
What community?
Of people in this movie? Like warriors, I guess.
We went with discipline and strength. Macho Man. Did you say discipline and strength?
Yeah, but clearly we need to protect women's sports by disallowing this woman from being in the men's. I'm going discipline and strength. Yes, I was right.
Nice. What is the pop star from a Goofy movie? Power Lightning, Powerline, 121, or Voltage? I2I. I think that is what
I want to say it was like.
I think it's
Voltage.
I think it's Powerline.
All right. Yes. Wow.
Nice.
That's the stupidest thing ever. In which special event does Professor Philip Bernard forget in Flubber? His wedding, his anniversary, his own birthday, or his wife's birthday?
This is the final question. It's a good question.
I want to say his wedding. That feels right.
Well, isn't he married?
His anniversary then.
Okay.
It was his wedding. God diddly
I'm
damn it.
So sorry.
I got a 14 out of 20. I'm not sure if we clicked all the same things.
We clicked all the same things, which was 80% better than all other quiz takers. 90s kid. 90s Disney kid. Wow, you must be a millennial, or maybe you're just a low-key Disney adult. Wouldn't that be the same thing in this case? Either way, very impressive. Reward yourself with a much-needed Disney marathon. No.
We did better than I thought.
Yeah, I mean, combined, if we wouldn't have talked each other out of like 3 answers, we probably would have had 17 out of 20.
And that would have been pretty good.
Yes. I mean, 14 out of 20. We did better than 80% of everyone. Any more thoughts to close the chapter on 90s Disney for the rest of our lives?
Yeah, I'd just like to correct myself and say that there's no evidence that Walt Disney was himself an anti-Semite. So there you go. I was fact checked.
All right. And that's it for this week's edition of Namely 90s. And you can find new episodes out every Monday. Find us on Instagram, Bluesky, and YouTube at namely90s.com and tell us what you want us to talk about in future episodes. If you'd like to support the show, please check out our Patreon at patreon.com/namely90s, also with the 90s. Finally, you can also contact us through our website, namely90s.com. Please subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Audible, Walt Disney Was a Semite, Pocket Cast, CastBox, iHeart, Good Pods, wherever you get your podcasts from. I'm Brandon. That's Andrew, and we'll catch you next time. Did I say anti-Semite or Semite?
You said Semite.
Damn it.